Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how Angular DevTools makes it easy to debug deferrable views and incremental hydration using a real working Pokemon app. The app is simple. At the top there's a view of Pokemon navigation with next and back buttons. Below that we've got a section with Pokemon details, an evolution view, and finally a list of other Pokemons. Let's take a quick look at the code behind it. In Pokemon component, I've used several defer blocks, each with different hydration trigger. For the navigation buttons, I use defer with hydrate on interaction, so they won't be hydrated until the user, for example, clicks. The Pokemon details section, hydrate only if the ID is greater than 1. The list of Pokemon at the bottom also use Hydrate on interaction, and inside the details component there's another defer block around the evolution section, but this one hydrates when it enters the viewport. Now let's move to the browser, open DevTools and move to Angular tab. When you inspect the component tree, you will notice entries labeled defer. Components that haven't hydrated yet are marked with a gray dot circle. This means they are still in a dehydrated state. Watch what happens when I scroll down. The evolution section enters the viewport, triggering hydration. The gray icon changes to blue drop, indicating that component is now hydrated. At the same time, the Pokemon details component also hydrates. That's because the defer condition inside it, the one for the evolution section, has now been met. If you are interested in how nested defer hydration triggers behave, I cover that in a separate short. Just search for Incremental Hydration nested triggers. Now let's look at the Pokemon list. It was deferred using Hydrate on interaction, so as soon as I click on Charmeleon, the list component hydrates. Let's go back in the code. I've also set up basic defer triggers that apply only on the client. The Pokemon details section uses on hover and Pokemon list uses on interaction. Both also have a simple placeholder defined, just a loading text. To demonstrate how this works, I will navigate to the trainer's page and then back to Pokemons. At this point, we are fully on the client side. There's no incremental hydration happening anymore. That means the only active logic comes from the basic defer triggers. On the screen, we now see the placeholder instead of server render components. And in Angular DevTools, you will see those same defer labels, but with the text placeholder shown next to them. Let's test the triggers. I hover over the Pokemon details section and it loads immediately. Then I click on the placeholder for the Pokemon list, and just like that it renders. Before you try this out locally, one important thing to remember: make sure to run your app with ngserve no-hmr flag. Hot module replacement can break defer behavior by idly loading everything, which could ruin your testing. Using no-hmr flag ensures that defer logic works as expected. So that's how incremental hydration and defer blocks works in Angular tab in DevTools. Give it a try in your own project. It really helps visualize what's going on under the hood. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you found it helpful. See you next time.